What's up, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video, and this is the NXT review on March 25th, 2025. And yeah, we got a pretty interesting NXT tonight, like with Stephanie Vaquer making history, like not only being the first ever NXT. Well, first ever to hold the NXT Women's North American and the Women's Championship, but also defend them all in one night, which the only wrestler that did that before as double champion was the wrestling couple of Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins respectively, when Becky Lynch was Becky Two Belts with the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championship, and then when Seth Rollins was the WWE World Champion and United States Champion. But yeah, but this is where then they show all the news sites then start celebrating her being the first ever women's champion, like in NXT. And this is where they showed her challengers with which was Jada Parker and what's her name, Fallon Henley, and but it was the complete opposite with Stephanie Vaquer opening up the show by defending her NXT Women's Championship against Jada Parker and the NXT Women's North American Championship in the main event, which I guess I don't know. I guess that was more likely in the main event level for to be the show closer of the night. Which I would say normally would be the NXT Women's Champion would be the one that would be candidate as the main event title. But since that what's her name, Stephanie Vaquer is genuinely in a feud with what's her name, Fallon Henley, they decided to make this the main event. But it's where everybody in the women's division is more competitive than it's ever been before since Vaquer been double champion, because everybody's trying to get a shot at her championship, even after her. Yeah, let's just say that that both of her title defenses were expectation, and it remains to be seen who could be next challengers. But yeah, let's get into the first match. And we also got a couple more matches to talk about. But I'll say since this was the opener, I'll give it the silver trophy of the night. I'm just gonna give it into advance, which I kind of gave a little bit of spoilers on what could be what exactly the results are. But yeah, I'm gonna tell you this was not the first time that she was double champion, double champion, but it probably won't be the last, because imagine what she'll be doing on the main roster, whether if it's holding 2 world titles in the women's division or 1 world title in the mid card, or maybe even two of the mid card belts.
Social security card that says apartment team. So that's good too.
But let's get into the match. That's where we got Stephanie Vaquer, then got in control, until Jada Parker. Then once she got out of the ring, she got back in control of finding some way to get the advantage. Throws Vaquer back in the ring. Then wrap her legs around if she's some kind of a human octopus, trying to trap her or I guess you could say her prey right in her presence. This is where then she tried to go for a pin, but Vaquer immediately kicked out at 2 point, what was it, 2? Then we got what's her name? What's her name? Jada Parker tried to go for a wrist lock, but only for get counter. But it's where once she gets thrown to the left corner side, this is where she immediately countered and threw her to the left, but Stephanie Vaquer intercepted her, sliding her Karanas in the right to the bottom right corner side. Trying to win close eye, but only very get hit with the right hand, but Stephanie Vaquer go for a roundhouse kick, throws Jada Parker in the upper left corner side. Is where she goes for a leaping dodge. But it's where she hits her own version of the bun drop, when Stephanie Vaquer tried to go for an attack, but it went backfire on her. This is where she did a little hand gesture maneuver. Well, she didn't do a little marching walk, but yeah, this is where she I told you, I'm not the one to sleep on, but this is where, once we got into the partial powerful force and all the pro wrestling, the commercial break, this is where she was still remaining on top until once it got off, Vaquer then sent it right to the left corner side, like if she was her own version of a female Rey Mysterio, hit a 619. I was man, what is up with some of the females in WWE that are massive Mysterio fan? First it was I believe Alexa Bliss, and then Zelina Vega, then Io Sky, and then now Stephanie Vaquer. Who's next? But it's where then we got This one got Stephanie Vaquera, then also then hit a flying head scissors, like a triangle face buster maneuver, whatever majiggy. But that's where she hits her face first, like about probably like 20 times, like into the canvas. This is where Stephanie Vaquera then and grab onto to Jada Parker. This is where the shoot like she was about to hit that double underhook backbreaker maneuver, but it's which is a finisher. But this is where Jada Parker counters, hit a shoulder tackle, picks her up, hits a Falcon Arrow right into the ring, and yeah, and this is where then she tried to go for a pin. But this is where we got Vaquera kick out at 2.2. This is where we got Jada Parker then smack her leg out of frustration. Like I said, that should have been it. This is where fans are chanting, "This is awesome," but the excitement has yet to come because it continues like later on in the night, which is why this one's getting the second place spot while the first place goes to the main event. And yeah, not because it's generically and that's what normally be the case, but it's where the referee was like, all right, like just don't keep attacking her. Like when the 5 second mark comes, this is where we got what's his name? But that's where he tried to go for a springboard into a bomb drop or whatever she calls it. And then she landed right on the Stephanie. This is where we got Jordan Grace that comes in. This is where she was like, I remember what you did when you attacked me. And then, and also I was like, I believe everybody remembered that, given that, what's her name? What's her name? Jordan Grace was dressed like Patrick Star from the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, the very first movie that back in like 21 years ago, back in 2004. But it's where we got. That's where we got what's her name, Jordan Grace, to try to go for the hypnotic, but this is where then Stephanie Vaquer then counters go for a wheelbarrow flip into a pinfall victory. 1, 2, 3, winner of this match. Yeah, Stephanie Vaquer retains her NXT Women's North American Championship, which we all expected to be the case. Being the first and only, like it's time that she can retain both her titles. But the question is, can she do the same for the women? The women's, the women's championship. She successfully retained the women, even though it was by the surprise roll up. But luckily, this was the only time that this move was only that happened on tonight's NXT show. But yeah, huge congratulations, and there's gonna be plenty more very exciting moments where that came from. But yeah, that was the first match. Yeah, give her the huge congratulations, which I'll say. But before she can even have more time to celebrate, this is where first we saw Jada Parker knew we got in it with Jordan Grace. Luckily the security guards came in and break things up. But this is where we got Fatal Influence came in and attacks Stephanie from behind. This is where this is where we got, I believe, was Jasmine Nixon hold on to her what found him. He's like I'm gonna take back what's mine. This is where then we got Booker T hilariously then said hold the damn phone, like with them why they're attacking her. This is where we got JT Jane to finish her off with a running senton with both Jasmine Nix and Fallon Henley were holding on to the lifeless Vaquer. This is where Fallon Henley thought this was going to help her win the title back, but what she did not know that one thing that she did not know and what she didn't learn until the last minute was that you should not you should not attack somebody that's on the level as Stephanie Vaquer is on, because once you bring her down, she's either going to get back up and she's going to be more stronger than when you attacked her. But that's where we got Javon Evans that went to what's his name, Trick Williams, and he did it again. Somebody broke out Britney Spears. This is where then he was like, yeah, like that's where he's oh, you're talking about we were pretty much the same thing again. Like just because we from the same country of North, I mean, the same state of North Carolina, and but no, we're far. You're far from me. That's where then Javon Evans like.
No, she got time today. The way he said, it looks like you scheduled an appointment at 11. I said, well, she told me she didn't have no time.
You're like, yeah, don't come. That's where what Javon Evans said. Like after he said that, this where he's like I want to. And he was like I was like when I was up there on that ring, that ropeless ring after he defeated Oba in that underground match, I was trying to that's what Trick Williams is saying. Like, yeah, you still don't get it. Like, oh, you think we're supposed to be brother? Like, I'm telling you once, I'll tell you again. Like, it is where yeah, let me focus on open. This is where the Javon Evans like, yeah, I know that. Like, you want to focus on open film. Like I've been trying to. Like you've been doing so, you've been focused on that, dude, for the last 4 months, even when you were still the NXT champion. He was like if you really that serious, like you would have actually would have dropped him a long time ago, like what you did last week. This, this where then this where then what's his name? Like this where then what's his name? What's it? Trick Williams? Oh, like you think that you're the only one that's keeping your eye on the champ? Like you're not focusing on as much as I am. Like this where Javon's like, oh really? Like you and this is where it's like if you like, yeah, I see what you're doing. You're doubting me, and more you doubt me, I'm gonna keep continuing to shock you. Like with him saying it in these exact words. Like yeah, like if you doubt somebody, like you're normally gonna eat your own words. Like which it seems like that one thing that the ring general is probably gonna learn. Like if the main event Yeet Master can what's that called shock him, but this is where we got Javon Evans and continues like yeah, like you're trying to be a 3-time champion. Like, well, tonight I'm gonna prove you wrong again. And this where, and then this where then and this where then I believe he's trying to get a shot at the NXT championship. But for now, he got the Heritage Cup championship opportunity. Let me tell you something that was probably pretty decent. Probably not as on the level on with Stephanie Vaquera's matches, but it was still something that was like besides the double championship defenses from the Chilean wrestler. But that's where we got Trick Williams like, yeah, like you proving your name for yourself. Like even yeah, I got me like Randy, like you had an opportunity. You use it. And that's where then he was like, and was like, yeah, and you got Randy Orton on the side, like we're vouching for you, like you're the next big star. What is it? And this where you got some potential, like good for you, like he's like, and he was like, yeah, all these coats, but it's one thing happened. It's one thing of winning the championship, but it's another that when you had the title, and you cannot. It's more than just holding the title up in the air. And this is where Javon's like, and he's like, I thought you were mad cool, like I never thought that this NXT title would change. Like he's like, I've never thought this championship would change you into a different person. And then this is where the Trick Williams responds back, so like it's like. You like it's about being a champion. You don't. It's something you don't understand. This is Javon. It's like you like, but tonight, as soon as I beat Alexis King, I will. And this is where he walked out of there. And did you have some belief or doubts that Javon Evans was going to win the NXT Heritage Cup Championship to lead him to the next level of perhaps being the being like keep his name as a future star in the air? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. I think that he has the opportunity to prove shock the world like as much as Jey Uso does too. But let me know in the comments. But this is where they showed a little preview of CM Punk's interview with Stephanie McMahon's future talk show, which is called Stephanie's Place. I believe that's what's called. Where they even show where that time where CM Punk had that very heated rivalry with her husband Triple H, which he obviously now is the chief content officer. And this is where they CM Punk said, like, I would not know, like a decade and a half later, like we were almost damn near a decade and a half later that we're pretty much similar in each other's respective way. And then, yeah, that's one of my favorite Nintendo games of all time too. Yeah, Super Mario Brothers. Yeah, that's the classic. But anyways, yeah, assassinators. This is where they even show like Stephanie McMahon showed to Chief Fire, like when they show that part where it's like if you just hold on, if you chant that name long enough, you probably last longer than CM Punk's UFC career. Which I was like, I would never thought that I would see this in a future video package on WWE's content like ever again. Like I'll say, you'll be lucky if you watch on that specific Monday Night Raw episode back 9 years ago in that year 2016. Which I'll say the reason why I knew about this because a fellow YouTuber pointed this out, like which I watched a segment like this probably pre-recorded, which I believe they probably edited it out. Like all thanks to their with the production team, like watching on the replay. But this where we got. But yeah, what are your thoughts on Stephanie's Place talk show? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But we're moving on. We got the next match to go to, which I believe was, what was it? It was Oh, before we go into the match, there was a backstage segment with Vic Joe earlier today. Vic Joseph was sitting at a sit down interview like backstage with Ricky Saints, like with him pointing out like when he made his debut, like and he won his debut match and his very first singles match. Like he's pretty much undefeated in NXT, and there's like and he has big moments like. And there's some that say that you don't belong. Like tensions are very high. Send the deliver season and there's a white noise. Or you're gonna use that as motivation, Ricky. This is where Ricky starts like, well, I'll say it's a little bit of pretty much both. That's where then this is where it's funny because like there are superstars back there, like in that locker room, like and they had a head start with me. I got and he was like, and I said, up there, like, do up their game, like, and they think you and WWE Universe are gonna be so, how confident I am as a performer. And then this is where Rick Saints is like, yeah, it's got these people, like, you know about that, Vic, don't you? You like, that's what I've been dealing with for all my life. Like, my career was nothing new. Like, I'm telling you, nothing new. And this is where Rick Saints like, when do you find that inner self confidence? And this is where Ricky Saints responded. And this is where it's like, when I start working in wrestling, I actually start living in my car, which I believe I heard that from somewhere in the news, like on the internet before. Whether if it was one of my fellow YouTubers or somebody else, like I remember hearing that story before in some capacity. This is where then Vic Joseph did not even know this. He was shocked. He was like, really? And this is where the Ricky Saints and there was times that like they was so bad, like I did not know what I was gonna actually eat, like when I was living in my car. And then this is where Ricky Saints like I didn't even have money to buy clothes, but at the end of those days, the only thing I actually had was my self confidence of I can make it. Like the conflict and the fact that I'm gonna get out of the situation, like it'll all work out in my favor, and that's why I'm sitting there talking to you in this interview right now, Vic. He's like, that's why I'm here in WWE and NXT, and most specifically NXT because of my self confidence. Like, well, it seemed like he kind of ignored like what company he used to work for, but he's saying like he's very he was already very famous before he got here, and he was already like well successful and established, like wrestling a couple of those other places. But since one of those places are a competition, he's not gonna really say it by name, which you could blame the guy. But this is where they get immediately interrupted by Sean Spears. This is where Vic Joseph was like. He was like, I'm here trying to interview Ricky here. This is where the what's his name shunned him. Sean Spears, he was like I got this, relax. This is where he's like, okay, I got this from here, Rick, and he's like, you sit back down. This is where Ricky Saints gave him an uneasy look. This is where Sean Spears said a true statement. This is where he's like we worked with each other a long time, and I was like, gee, I wonder what company was that like before like you returned to WWE, Sean, and Ricky just made his debut. This is where then Ricky Saints also made a true point by saying it was way too long, which it was like it was. This was Sean Spears. We're holding this NXT North American Championship. He's like, why don't you sit there and ask you to join my Spears family? And this is where then Ricky Saints like Sean, like, didn't you hear what I said last week? I said hell no. And this is where then Sean Spears chuckled, like, yeah, that's what I thought. Like, no, like, remember the conversation that we had in Phil? Like, like that's all I go. Like, how many times I have to take you off the metaphor? Like, when I told you like you didn't believe it, like all the advice that I give you like from over the years, like, and now the reason why I didn't ask you, because sadly, like you're still the same guy that I left over a year ago, which that's true because he did came back here a year ago, and like Ricky Saints like follow soon after a year after him, but it's where it's like the arrogance is another but a crack everywhere you go. And everywhere you go, you keep a nice and long line that you just make a long line of agony. Like, and that's all you're doing right now. That's what Rick saying. Like, you know what's so weird about that? Like, you don't understand the fact, like, you want to be number one here in NXT, like, or WWE anywhere, like, you got to make some enemies. Like, this is what Sean Spears, like, I heard the same thing, like, on and on and on, time and time again in my career in wrestling. Like, but my point is, would you like? Is exactly what my point. Like, look at me right now, and I am a champion here in WWE. Like, something I desire to do, like for probably 15 over 15 years. In this way, like, and it, and you what Ricky Saints, like, I have my family beside me. This where Ricky Saints was like, yeah, like first he was like, first of all, like there are the reason why that you became the NXT North American champion in the first place. And second of all, I will be the reason why you'll be dethroned for that exact same title belt that you just won. And this way, like you get that song, this sounds like yeah, but this he's like, are you sure you want the championship? And the Ricky Saints like, yes. Like you know, even though I did, like you all both know that what's gonna be the outcome. And this way, like, and then yeah, it's gonna make more enemies than ever. This is where then we got what's name Nico Vance, what's the name uh Nico Vance, Izzy Dame, and Brooks Jensen. This is where then Sean Spears got off his chair and say like yeah, you know, like it don't stop here, like and this is where he's about to say. In this word, it's well, like if you need a family, oh, that's right. Like you burnt every bridge, so it looks like you're SOL. And then this where then he walked right out of there. This where then this where Ricky Saints is like, okay, like then that means I better win. Then am I right? This where then this where we got Tyreek Egrew and Tyson Dupont was like yeah, he can't be for real, can he? This where the this dude was he's like yeah, like Ricky ever since they've been doing it's all about me ever since. Like yeah, and this is where then he it's like and that for you guys. Like I mean, don't sweat me though. Like, but however, it's time for you guys matches. This, this is where then this is where then what was it? It was Kale Dixon and Connors. Like that was taunting Mr. Ethan Page. Like wow, like Ricky's starting to turn into Ethan Page right now. Like that's exactly what you did. And I was like, and I agree. I agree with one thing about them because they just came from the other place, which it was. Which is still the competition of WWE, which I'm not going to talk about until after this video, after this recap, I should say. But it's weird, and we got it depends on. I got two. It is where it's like two words that come out of y'all's mouth and barely calm voice, in very calm voices, I should say. He's like 2 words out of you, and I'm gonna knock you out right. Absolutely, kid. This word in con, this word Isaac Connors then was like, oh, well, what the hell is that all about? This where pushing this word and God, Kel Dixon was trying to be the peacemaker. Like, yo, calm down. This where Andre Chase like, yeah, what's your problem? Like that's not how you talk. And this is the this is like this is our classroom here. This is where then what's that? Ethan Page like I'm at the like this may be a classroom move, but I need to bring you back to reality. This is the real world, and this is where Andre Chase responds. Like look, they're young and unexperienced. This is where Ethan Page there you are. Like maybe you should teach them their words actually have consequences on their actions. And this is where then Andre Chase like maybe you're right. And this is where then Ethan Page are poking fun about his former university, Chase U, saying like, "Oh yeah, you're dead end university, like it's closed now." This is and this is where it's like, oh, that's okay. How about we talk about some sensitive, tough guys like you, like that can handle the truth. And this is where they eat the page, and I like the sound of that when Andre Chase was stating the truth. This is where they eat the page like, yeah, we'll see about this. This is where Andre Chase is like, oh yeah, we will. And then this is where he's like, okay, I'm gonna handle this. Which and he told Isaac Connors and Kel Dixon like come on right behind him. I was like, man, like I wish they go back to being Andre Chase. And if they do unite the faction, like the only person that was on the original Chase U is that one guy. Totally forgot his name, and also what's his name? What's that? I was just thinking of. I was just yeah. What was that? Like yeah, like either like yeah. We had one is that guy with the blonde long hair and the what's his name? Duke Hudson. Yeah, I'll say because considering that they're no longer in WWE, so anytime soon that they're not going to be bringing back anytime soon, and so yeah, so unfortunately not expect them to be. Can you right here chase you? But and they got Hank and Tank had their match against Tyrese Tyreek Igru and Tyson DuPont. This is where then we got we start going for each other's waist locks. Like this is where what was happening. This is where we got. This is where Tyreek Tyson Dupe. No, Tyreek Igru then finally brought down Tank Ledger. This is where he tags in Tyson DuPont. This is where he yards about to the left side. This is where then he gets. This is where we got Tank Ledger hanging up to the ropes, kicks him right in the head because Tyson DuPont made a ginormous mistake by bowing his head before his face. This is where we got. But that's where we got. We're gonna end up getting the heels. Like we got that's where we got the baby faces of Tank and Tank threw Tyson DuPont right onto his partner what's his name? Tyreek Igru. This is where we guys saw Hank Walker hit a suicida with something that we thought we'll never see. The one half of the Hank and Tank duo to do. This is where fans are chanting "Holy Sugar Honey Iced Tea." You can tell we could understand that. That probably deserves the bronze trophy tonight for this performance, even though it was not for a tag team champ, let alone for a tag team no more contenders match. But it still was something that was very tolerable and very intriguing. Like that would be something fun to watch. Like for the oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That sounds very similar to to the our dog. But anyways, this is where we got what's the name? It was Tyson DuPont did a spinning maneuver onto Hank Walker. This is where we got that's where then we got Tyreek Igru that had gone to the arm of Hank Walker. Anyway, got from his shoulder first. This is where it's like my shoulder. This is where then it was almost out of the socket. This is where it's a right hand. This is where then we got. And they're trying to go for a tag, but there's nothing. That was nothing that was taking him closer to the upper left side. He gets booted right into the face by Tyreek Igru. That's where he threw him by his partner Tyson DuPont's corner. That's where he hit the spear. That's where then he hit the spear right into the midsection. That's where we got a tag by Igru to DuPont. That's where. Tyson DuPont and had a double full Nelson, and then a right hand to the midset, and then from Tyreek Igru in his double team. Oh, I totally forgot to tell you that the Motor City Machine Guns gave a little bit some advice to Hank and Tank, before they got into the arena, but it seemed like they partially was taking the advice, but only for it only just work half. I'll say probably only work probably halfway. That's where we got Tyson DuPont trying to go for a pin. We only got him a 2.5, like a generic quarterback would call on the play. You gotta be kidding me. Here's where we go. This is where we got a stunner by Hank Walker right onto stunner onto Tyson DuPont. This is where then we got what's his name? Tyreek Igru then gets tagged in. This is where then we got him going for a guillotine maneuver. This is where to stop Hank Walker from tagging in Tank Ledger. This is where he tried to go for a neck breaker maneuver. Only Hank Walker to stop. This is where he got getting elbow by Tyson, Tyreek Igru. It's where he tried to go for a boot, but Hank Walker dodged him by going sideways. Tags in, what's his name? Tank Ledger. Start going for clotheslines. Then we got, we got some clotheslines, and then this is where here's the belly suplex. Tyreek Igru did hit the clothesline on his own. This is where he hits a running elbow and hip attack right onto what's his name? Tyreek Igru. This is where he cartwheel dodged out of a clothesline by Tyreek Igru. This is where he hit a clothesline. This is where then he ducks. I know he dodges out of a right hand. This is where he hit what they call like a fisherman's super spine buster plex, and maybe like who'd have probably gotten away with it if it wasn't for that meddling member of the Goddess. Where then we got Tank Ledger, then ducks out of the clothesline, hit the springboard, double knees, then tags in Hank Walker. This is where then we got. This is where we got what's the name? Hank Walker tried to go for a neck breaker. This is where Wesley created diversion. So Tyson DuPont then throws Tank Ledger onto the ringside. This is where Tyreek Eggroot and kicked him in. This is where he goes for a back suplex position after going for a tag to Tyson DuPont. Tyson DuPont did like a slam dunk clothesline Larry right into the ground. 1, 2, 3. Winner of this match, Tyreek Igwe and that's the name, Tyson DuPont. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this match? And do you think this was something that NXT needed to do, which I think they should, like if they're trying to elevate this team into a very successful one. But this is where we got. This is where we got Ava's trying to explain, like say, like this is where they try to explain, like it's quite her injury is questionable, so she's not sure if she could defend her women's ultimate championship tonight, not because she's trying to get her out of it or trying to bribe Vaquera. She was just trying to let her know that she hopes that she does gets in the match, and this is where Stephanie Vaquera was like, yeah, like I need to get yes, like I still need to compete, like even though like this was she was like I still need to compete. Where she thanked the doctor for patching her up. This where Ava was like, are you sure that she's clear enough to compete tonight? That's where then she was like, well, like she looks healthy. She don't look like she have any broken bones or anything internally bruised and injured. Excuse me for a moment. But anyways, this is where we got Javon Evans was coming out for his match because he's taking on what's his name, Lexus King, and yeah, I'll say the tag team match probably gets the third place spot. I'll say yeah, it probably gets the third place spot. So I'll say, but this Heritage Cup match, I'll say probably gets the blue ribbon. For like I'll say, given that what the outcome was, maybe a little too predictable. Maybe I'll say I don't know, like what's the term to put it. I'll say, well, I'll say maybe a little bit predictable and maybe a little bit of a letdown. Even though it makes sense in story, like what the next plans for the NXT Championship. Well, I hope has into something that's very intriguing. But we got Fraxium within the back. That's where then we got Sarah Schreiber then try to ask some questions about like what was his time over in Spain, his home country, of facing Gunther about a couple weeks ago. That's where like taking the world heavyweight champion in his limits. That's where like it was a total dream come true. Like I guess I put the world heavyweight champion into his and my home into for my friends and family. Like so that's the day I'll never forget. Then the next phrase like yeah. And it was like, and that's where Nathan Frazier was like, "Yeah, me neither." Like, yeah, I would know how I feel like if to compete like in a headlining, like and like fighting a current world champion in your own country. Like, he was like, this was like I wasn't actually invited to that, even though, but this was the accent like, we're talking. This was well, the reason why we did because it's supposed to be a surprise, and we don't want to make it too obvious considering we were both tag team champions. And you also have a big match. Then Nathan first and this was like what? Like you think I'm gonna tweet about this? Where it's like, well, you kind of done that before. Like when it comes to surprise, then they like, are you serious? Like if I was there, you probably actually be. And this where the action was like, well, what's that supposed to mean? Like if you go there, and this is where they kind of teasing the split here. The way he had these little minor, harmless, passive aggressive conversations with each other turned into a very misunderstanding argument. This is where them. But this was like I was been in help. This was actually like no, like I went like you haven't been in the help. This was like hold up. This was I turned around. This where it was Obafemi. That was I was coming out to the building of the performance center, but before he even came in there, this is where the match started between the current reigning defending Heritage Cup champion Lexus King and challenger Javon Evans. This is where we got the young OG, got the second generation wrestler into a headlock. This is where we got Lexus King then go right into the upper left corner side, start rubbing his arms and hands right into the face onto young OG because he knew that he had some jaw problems ever since that he got attacked by Ethan Page when he hit him with the chair. This is where we got Lexus King to try to go for a head scissor lock. But this is where we got Javon Evans go for a kip up, then go for a headlock. This is where we got Javon Evans then try to go for. And where we got with them, Lexus King start elbowing him right into the midsection. This is where we go boom, 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 and this is where Javon is like, no, I'm not letting go. And this is where he hit the axe handle, hit a knife edge chop. This is where then we got him going for a headlock, but this is where it ends up getting back suplex, just drop right directly in his back. Lexus King tried to put himself back up, then try to go for a body slam, which he ends up doing. This is where he tried to go for a cover, but it only got him a 2.1 count by Javon Evans. This is where we got Lexus King start continuing to go for a headlock onto the young OG. This is where then we got Javon Evans springboard ground top, then hit the fly head scissors that made the fans start chanting bouncy, and this is where then we got him going for a springboard crossbody to make it more bouncy, and then this is where then we got Javon Evans hit a big missile drop kick. This is where he sends him right to the outside. Then we got Javon Evans was like, okay, now he's out in the ring. This is where then we got Evans dipping right to the right side. Then go to the left side. This is where then he tried to go for a suicide dive, landed onto him, but not only that, but landed like I don't know how he did it, but perfectly right on, sat down right on the announce table, right onto, I believe was Corey Graves' spot. Like, it's where then Vic Joseph couldn't even believe that. He did not just did that. It's where he started doing this little like celebration kind of hand gesture, like yeah, like that was a pretty fun ride, which I was kind of jealous of the young OG because that was like very fun. But this is where we got. But let's move on to the next slide. As we got the partial powerful force and all the professional wrestling, the picture-in-picture break. This is where it was like back and forth until we got once the partial adverts came out, and it was the heel was on top, and Lexus King then hits this power slam hybrid of a Falcon Arrow maneuver. But when he tried to go for a pivot of his leg, it made Booker T saying disbelief of what the hell message. But this is when Vic Joseph like, do you know what move is that is? And it was disbelief too. This is where we got Ethan Page. Then Lexus King trying to pick up picks up Javon Evans. This is where Javon Evans hit a big old chop right to his chest. This is where Javon Evans landed right into the bottom right corner side. This is where Lexus King showed some anger, saying like nobody slaps me like that. This is where then we got Lexus King trying to attack him right to the upper right side. This is where Javon Evans is continuing elbow strikes. This is where fans are saying, let's go, young OG. Let's go, cock. Let's go, young OG. Let's go. This is where Javon Evans then go right up into the right corner side until Then we go for a springboard cartwheel to an Insigiri. Then this is where we got Javon Evans going up right directly to the up on the top rope in the upper right corner side. This is where then we got. That's where Javon Evans then hit the frog splash, a 5-star frog splash, like one of his idols, Rob Van Dam, used to do. But this is where Javon Evans tried to go for a cover. He only got a 2.9999999999999 double triple nine minus 0.1 away from being 3. But this is where we got. But this is where we got Lex King then picks up. He go to Alexis King when he used that as a disadvantage, messing with the jaw. This is where then he has the court or try to go for coordination, but Javon Evans did not take that as a feasible maneuver. This is where Javon Evans go for over a springboard flipping to the right side, hit a step up into Gary, which we all like thought that they. That's where Javon Evans went to the right corner side, hits a diving crossbody right onto Alexis King. This is where we got Obafemi that came in and attacks Javon Evans. Like when the referee did not see it, this is where the fans were very upset. They're like, referee, like, how come we didn't see it? This I was like, I don't blame them for being so upset, even though like the wrestler that did it, like I'm not sure what to say about this guy. I have nothing against him, but that's where we got the referee count out the challenger, which I believe this is the best way to keep everybody strong and steal your NXT Edge Cup champion, Lexis King. Nothing special like of a freebie. So I'll say only just the blue ribbon of the night. This is where we got. Little Obafemi tried to come in and try to finish off Javon after attacking him. Only for those guys that wear those masks from like I get in the arena, but this is where Javon Evans they showed that was in the ring. This is where they start going face to face. It's where despite those guys that's led by Deion Lennox and his caboose are brawling with one another like boom 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 boom. Anyway, we got Obafemi. Take over Bama. This is where Trick Williams trying to go for a trick shot, but onto the Obafemi ends up hitting Javon Evans, which we're thinking like is that on purpose or was on accident. But this is where Trick Williams and Obafemi went face to face with one another. But luckily there was plenty of security guards to block both of these guys' ways, like from hitting each other with a move. But this is where next up we got a tag team women's tag match. No, nothing special, but still gonna get like and a compliment spot onto the review video, like because this match was very interesting. I was like, why did they got rid of the women's tag team division? There's a reason why there's so many women's team like from Sol Ruka and Zarya to the Meta Girls, like, and the team of Taylor Paxley and Gigi Dolan. Like, so why are they just bringing it back, even though they unify with the WWE Tag Team Championships, which is currently held by which is currently held by Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. But that thing started with Gigi Dolan and what's her name? Jada Park. Jakar Jackson. This is where we got. This is where we got Jakar Jackson ends up tagging Lash Legend. This is where they did a double team by splashing on the what's her name to Gigi Dolan is where we got. This is where we got Gigi Dolan was going for a sling blade. This is where we got. This is where we got what's her name? Like she sent Jakar Jackson right to the bottom right corner side. Gigi Dolan. This is where she ends up throwing or tagging in what's her name? Uh what's her name? Tatum Paxley. This is where then she goes for a catapult stepping Bronco Buster while stepping on the back of what's her name? Of what's her name? Of a Tatum Paxton. This is where she goes for a pin, but it's where she goes for a right hand onto Jakar tag, going for Jakar to count out of it with a right hand. This is where she goes for a running bulldog. This is where then she caught here's where we got Tatum Paxton goes for this leg lock maneuver right onto the waist, onto Jakar Jackson, but it's where it ends up again stopped by Lash Legend by pushing Tatum, pushing what's her name, Jakar Jackson right out of the maneuver. This is where the Jakar Jackson. Here we go. But anyway, once Lash Legend we got tagged, that's where she started leading into like the what they called. Straight to the battlefield is where then she dragged in Taylor Paxi tags in what's her name? Here's where we got Gigi Dolan got her got what's her name? No, Jakar Jackson picks up Tatum Paxton. This is where she goes, throws her right into the what's her name to what's her name to Last Legend, when she body slammed him or her. This is when they advertised there will be a TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champion match, which will feature Tatum Paxley and what's her name, Tatum Paxley and Gigi Dolan against the team of the reigning defending TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champions, Lash, Ash by Elegance and Heather. But this is where we got. But this is where we got another double team tag team maneuver, only for just what's her name? Tatum Paxi goes for a drive kick onto both of the Meta girls, like that, trying to do a double team. Then try to reach for a tag team to Georgina Dolan. That's where then we got. Here's where we got Gigi Dolan going for a double clothesline after what's her name? Tatum Paxi escapes from any damages being more done like into this match. This is where we got Gigi Dolan going for a wrist lock, going for clotheslines repeatedly onto the this is where we got Tatum Paxley then use the head of Gigi Dolan as the. But this is where we got both what's her name? Gigi Dolan and what's her name? I'm trying to remember her name. Tatum Paxley then go for a double clothesline forward and back. This is where then we got. In order they had the what they call the cemetery dive, whatever it's called. They go for the flip pinfall 1, 2, 3. Winner of this match, Tatum Paxley and Gigi Dolan. But that's where we got. This is where we got Zarya and this is where we got Zarya and what's her name? So Ruka was saying like, "Oh, how was your match?" Oh, that's why I'm so sorry. Like you lost your winnable match. This is where then Jakar Jackson said out of irritation, this saying, "Why the hell are you even doing out here anyways?" Which that's a good $1 billion question to ask, but we'll probably know down the line in the foreseeable future. But moving on, we got. This is where we got Tony D'Angelo's hanging out to the restaurant that he and the boys and the girl like always hang out at, like when they're discussing business. But yeah, but this is where we got two of his I'll say waiters, I guess you could say, was in there, like telling him something. Is where this is where what was it like? That's where he invited the whole entire family. Like that was in the house. That's where they sat down. That's where we got Tony D'Angelo looking down, like in depression. That's where Luca Crucifino's like, "How you doing, Don?" This is where he's like, "I'll be doing fine." This is like, yeah, those guys beat the daylights out of me. I don't know who they are. Like I don't want no attempts, just attempts. Like I want to find out like who the hell they are and what their motive, like what's their purpose, what they've been doing for the last few weeks. Like, I want to see them like what they be eating them when they eat before they even do it. And then this is where Tony D'Angelo continued with Adrian Rizzo was very determined of taking care of these guys that attacked him. This was like, don't worry, John. I'll take uh uh good care of it. This is where we got Tony D'Angelo was like, let me know what you find. Like, let me if I ask. This is where they end up going. This is where we got. This is where we got Tony D'Angelo like, oh, and Stacks. I want to talk to you for a second. This is where Stacks see what he wanted, but he kind of breathe in and breathe out a little bit. This is where he's like, okay, okay, Don, like I'm here. Like, what? Let me do. This is where they tell D'Angelo, are you good, Stacks? This is where the other Stacks like, yeah, everything's all right. Again, but this is where Tony D'Angelo like, yeah, you he's like, yeah, like I'm the boss, the don, like for a reason. Like, remember that you were in the high school, like you rap about this separate. They got these high rollers of talking to like it is a chase like window recruit like. But this was like remember that the step up like when you're trying to get your cart like what's the name stacks like so you could get a pass. And this was like I remember you two. He's like, I'll never forget like what you done for me, Stacks. He's like, and I believe in you because I trust you. Like as much as everything I do, yeah, and I can always trust you any given time. And that's right, Stacks. And this is where Stacks then kind of gave a slow response to like, I'm not sure if I should answer that though. This is where he ends up. This was like, but you know what? Like at the same time, you can trust me, T. Like always, no matter what. But this is where we got. But this is where we got the next match, which will probably get the I'll say tied with the blue ribbon of the night, which was probably Javon Evans taking on what's name Lexus King, which there was no Heritage Cup rules, but this is what it was the show advertisement of Rhea Ripley, like yeah, being in a meet and greet during WrestleMania weekend, like her being advertised with. But that's where we got what's Hank and Tank that asked some more advice to the team of the Motor City Machine Gun. He's like, we've been tagged for over a ticket. Like, yeah, this is not natural. Like it did take us a long time to get us to the top of the mountain, to get the WWE. It took only weeks. I guess it only took weeks to become the W Tag Champions. And Chris says like, yeah, most important thing, like don't give up. I Hank and Tank. He's like, here's where the Tank Ledger then reinformed the Motion Machine Guns that like they will get back up there. Like you wait and see which they. The other guy takes you against Ethan Page. Is where we got Ethan try to go for a headline, but it's where we got. It's where we got what the first Andre Chase brought in a lot of offenses. like even dropping him down on his feet, but he tried to go for like a figure four like maneuver. He pushed right into the right side, busting in the sky because he ducks out cold out of Ethan. He hits a hip toss, then hits a Uranagi slam, start going for a headlock slam. Then go ahead and Ethan Page move out of the way. This is where we got. This is where we got. But this is where we got. What happened next? It was Ethan Page tried to throw Andre Chase right into the bottom right corner side. He stops him. He starts hitting some right hands onto the former NXT champion. This is where he dodged off a close off from Ethan, runs from the left side. Then this is where we got Ethan trying to for our elbow strikes. This is where we got Ethan Page go. This is where we got Andre Chase throws Ethan Page on the outside. Then this is where he goes for a crossbody, but this is where. This is where we got Andre Chase going for a crossbody. This is where we got him then run up with the Dixon, Isaac Connors and Kale Dixon. This is where it's like, yeah, see, you getting the hang of it. You're going back as the Chase U professor that we once knew and loved. But this is where we got, and now like since that was happening, this is where we got Andre Chase then go then yeah, what's the Power Force and All Person came on? This is where we got wasn't that Ethan Page on top, but even though it was temporary, but since he was the offense right after it went off, and technically he's not even watching it no more. But it's like talking about this is where we got that's where we got But before we get, I forgot to tell you, Ricky Saints came out. Like this is where he didn't came right in front of Ethan Page. Like it's happened with the commentators. Like which it was a totally classic moment from the from the former multi-time champions outside of WWE. But this where that's where I got. That's where Andre Chase had Ethan Page one down on one hand. That's where about to hit his signature move. At first, he was so hesitant at first, but this is where his new students like reinformed him that there's nothing to hide or worry about. This is where then Andre Chase then kind of got confident with it, like which he think of his remaining members of Chase U saying, excuse me, But this is where we got Andre right in the middle of his spelling stomps, like, give me a C-H-A. And this is where we got Ethan Page holding the A. Grab onto his leg like if it's on like a scene on WWE 2K24, even 25. This is where we got him trying to go for a spinning rounds kick, but he gets dug down Andre Chase. Andre Chase is the side effect like maneuver that was similar to the Matt Hardy, like without the signature move that I know of on WWE 2K24. And they're trying to go for a pin. This is where his students, Kale Dixon and Isaac Connor, like then were counting. They thought it was gonna be a 3 count, which will be pretty fantastic. But yeah, this is where we got Ethan Page and lift up what's his name? Andre Chase go for a code breaker, try to go over pin. This even had Booker T. Even I wonder if this was gonna be the last that was gonna be the end of this match, but it's where Andre Chase was not taking 3 for an answer. But we got Ethan Page start taunting and arrogantly start talking trash onto Andre Chase. Like, you're not gonna do nothing because you're gonna forever ever gonna be a loser. This where then the males don't evolve here. But it's where Ethan Page then it's all right here. It's where then we got it's where we got Then we got a neck breaker by Chase to Ethan Page. This is where we got Chase then go up right in the middle ropes, try to go for tornado DDT, but he ends up hitting onto him. This is where we try to go for a pin. This is where we almost got a 3, but it's where we got. This is where we got what's his name? On Ethan Page. This is where he gets the counter of a submission. This is where then we got. This is where Ricky State start watching it right and. But this is where I got Andre chasing. Once he got him down, this is where he goes up right back on the top rope in the upper right corner side, hitting some kind of dodge of a diving maneuver until Ethan Page counted out of him. This is where he hits him with an avalanche power slam, along with that twisted grin by Ethan Page to get the 1-2-3, which I still think he learned from Cody. I learned from Matt Hardy in his days on the other company, but or maybe even he already genuinely came up with that, and he must be still a Hardy fan. But he used it one of his maneuvers on his opponents. But this is where we got that match need was happening. Like, yeah. Congrats. But this is where we got. This is where we got Ricky Saintston let Ethan Page know that they're not interested in joining the Sean Spears family. Only for them to came out because he must have mentioned them by name, and the rule in professional wrestling, if it's on the outside, even they're going to be still attacking them. But attack on them. This is where the. But this is where they got these guys in the black hoodie then came in and had a message saying like, yeah, like we're in the outside the building. This was we sent you to a doctor that don't have no idea. You never seen nothing like this before. Which I was like, yeah, unfortunately, like it looked like that guys like Trick Williams and Javon Evans and. But moving on, we got. But yeah, this is where we got the match. But yeah, anyway, this is where we got. Now it's time for the main event of the evening, which this is going to totally go get the golden trophy tonight. Now I'm talking about Stephanie Vaquer, from defender NXT Women's Championship to the Women's North American Championship, and it'll be this time against Fallon Henley that's been begging Ava to get a shot at the NXT Tag Team Championship. And we got Fallon Henley start hitting every single move in her playbook, even a super kick onto the Chilean wrestler. This is where we got. This is where we got Vic Joseph then described as describe like what situation that what's her name Stephanie Vaquer is, which was easy said and done. Like, and also what was it like? It'd be out of the ring for a little while. But this is where we got. But yeah, this is where we got Fallon Henley to do it for a waistline onto But this is where we got Stephanie Vaquer super kicks Fallon Henley right in the face, which about did 6-1 out did to Jada Parker. Only for that to fall through. This is where we got Fallon Henley to go right up into a hanger. But this is where we got Fallon Henley, then ends up I got her right to the corner, right after she tries to spear. This is where she goes for a leg sliding kick right back in her in the ring, like if it's her version of a 619. But once we got done with the partial adverts of the partial, what's it called? Partial powerful force in all pro wrestling. Well, let's say that she got She went for a suplex. He ends up going for that maneuver, fall, making Fallon Henley fell down on the ground in the process. Then this is where we got the referee checking on both women. This is where dude like, all right, women, like, come on, get up. This is where it's like 1, 2, 3. This is where we got Stephanie Vaquer. They ends up throwing her right to the upper right corner side, bottom left side actually. This is where she started hitting her each side of the turnbuckle, and started booting her right to the face onto the. This is where we got what else happened? And we got Stephanie Vaquer and go up right up and hit a double meteor right into the face, which I was like, even though like she have nothing on the one that always keeps beating her, which that was before she signed with WWE, of course that is. But that's where we got Stephanie Vaquer then started going for a knee to the back until Fallon Henley rolls, flips her right into the middle of the ring, then hit her with a stomp right into the midsection. This is where we got Fallon Henley. Then hit a hammerlock. But that's where we got Fallon Henley. Then started hitting some stomps right on to Stephanie Vaquer when she got back in up right into the offense position. Then this is where we got Fallon Henley run to the right corner side. Then we got Stephanie Vaquer going for a wheelbarrow roll up like it feels earlier. But thing is, it didn't start strike twice, which only got her a 2 even count. But this is where she ends up getting thrown right to the outside. This is where Fallon Henley distracted the referee, but the thing is, JC Jane tried to go for an attack, but she ends up getting super kicked by Vaquer. But this is where she ends up getting Pele kicked at the same time. This is where we got Fallon Henley. Then enter with the mid rope wheelbarrow, a blockbuster neck breaker. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but this is where only. But this is where we got Fallon Henley that came in. This is where then we got. But that's where we got. But that's where Stephanie Vaquer was about to hit her finisher, that double under backbreaker. But that's where they got distracted by what's her name? Jasmine Nix. She knocked her down, but she was still laying onto the apron still when she turned around. Is where we got. That's where we got. What's her name? And then we got Fallon Henley try to go for a pump handle, but it's where she gets countered by that character, is where she sends her right into Jasmine Nix, is where she picks her up, hits that double under backbreaker, the SVP, the SVB, whatever you want to call it. I guess I believe it's called the Stephanie Vaquer bomb. I don't know what exactly what it is in particular. And she gets the 1, 2, 3, and she also made more history by retaining that title, the Women's North American Championship, just like she did in the opener of the NXT Women's Championship, which I thought was going to be the other way around, but this has probably have more story to tell, which that's understandable why it should be the show closer. But let me know in the comment section down below about that, like itself. But yeah, that's where we got JC Jane and Jasmine Nix came in and attacked Stephanie Vaquer again. But luckily, we got Jordan Grace that came in and helped out her. The Juggernaut then helps out, like took out the Fatal Influence, and it was the Juggernaut Big Mama Pump herself, Jordan Grace. It was she hit the close on, boom, boom. It's where she hit the uppercut, like, and that's where it did. She grabbed onto the two of the NXT Women's Champions, the Mid Card and the World Championship. That's where she was like, "Here you go, champ." Like, but for now, this is where did she. That's where she showed solid sportsmanship. That's where the. But this is where once she what they call it, she gave her the Women's North American Championship, but that's where she showed which championship she was going to be challenging for, and it was her still hanging on to the Women's Championship when Vaquer was trying to grab him, but Jordan Grace like, not so fast, homegirl. That's where then Stephanie Vaquer like, oh, you will get your shot, like now you're mine. Like this is where Jada Parker comes in, attacks poor Jordan Grace, but this is where Jordan Grace then. And when she try to hit her with one of her striking maneuvers, this is where she hits her with a big elbow, and this is where she hits her with hit her with a big old right hand. This is where she ends up hitting her with a running hip attack right on the hers. She was like you're not the one that has hips around here, do you? This is where she turned around. Like, well, Stephanie Vaquer made her turn around. Just like don't forget, like, yeah, like I'm still your champion. And I was like, funny thing is, like, when they're outside of WWE, like one one of them, like, which used to wrestle for the one that used to that's used to work for. That's the partnership. That's now still a partnership with WWE. That's a partnership right now. And she beaten the girl that's now on SmackDown that was accused of attacking Jade Cargill. She beat her for that women's championship. While the one that used to been partners with this girl that left this company back like almost 3 years ago, like beat the one that's the champion, but when she was the other champion, but she still holds on to that belt to this day from last year before making the jump here on WWE. Which are the what are the chances like of the years between 2024 and 2025? But it's where everybody like in the locker room would start asking for title shots. They were like, no, like, bro, I deserve more of a title shot. This is where we saw the likes of but before we saw this, is where we got Ava was talking to her assistant, like Stevie Turner. This is where you're like, yeah, there's so many times. There's so many like Stephanie Vaquer, like this competed in two of the matches and successfully retained both of them. Like this is very wild and amazing. This is where then this is where Lola Vice is like, I want Stephanie next, and then this is where Kalani Joe like, no, I should get Stephanie next. Like I totally deserved it. This is where everyone's arguing. This is where then Cora Jade joined into this arguing challenger club, and then even like who was it? I believe was what's her name? Izzy Dame did jump show up out of nowhere. Then it was Carmen Petrovic. That's where then Ava was like, all right, girl, like I'm gonna figure this out like one way or another. And that's where I believe like since they teased that it's gonna like Jordan Grace is going after for Stephanie Vaquer's women's championship, maybe we could see like who could fight Stephanie Vaquer for the women's North American championship, which is starting to be more intriguing. Like which I hopefully hope that WWE sorts this out or who's going to be the next challenger for Stand and Deliver. Maybe they could do like some kind of a big battle royal like that leads up into the rightful number one contender. But yeah, that's gonna be for the next video. But yeah, I'll say NXT did a pretty interesting job. Like it's just probably not too exciting. Like maybe for the best not to be at this time. But like it still had some pretty interesting had a pretty interesting I'll say moniker with Stephanie Vaquer like not only like succeeded like in one yeah, like not only like that Stephanie Vaquer defended one of her titles, but she successfully defended both of them, like in two separate matches, like with the women's championship against Jada Parker, and what's his name? And what's her name? Found him for the NXT Women's Champion, North American Championship, of course. But yeah, let's. I'll say I hope, yeah. Again, like I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and yeah, if so, please make sure to hit the big thumbs up button. If you ask me how I feel about it, like what rating I'll give it, I'll say maybe a 4, average star, like on the show. And like, yeah, hope we all enjoyed the video. If so, please make sure to hit the big old like button and the subscribe and the post notification bell for more SNA's videos. Like yeah, like, and make sure to check out my other channel at the SNA Entertainment. And yeah, like they did some teasers, like we could turn this NXT Championship match between uh what's his name, Trick Williams and Obafemi into a triple threat match, adding Javon Evans as a name to be be third wheeling into the match and proving Trick Williams wrong. Like that he may not have been world champion material like about a year ago, but now like for the last probably almost 12 months, like he proved everybody wrong time and time again. And we all yeah, but but yeah, also make sure to check out my AEW Dynamite review video, which I will feature the likes of Kenny Omega, like Kenny Omega taking on Blake Christian, Thunder Rosa teaming with timeless Tony Storm to take on Megan Bain and Penelope Ford, and then we got to sit down interview with Rated FTR with Rated FTR with Antonio Schiavone, and also MJF giving MVP his answers for of joining the Hurt Syndicate. But we're gonna be talking about that tomorrow. We're also gonna be talking about the wrestling news, like on March 26th, where we're gonna be, where your boy SNA is gonna be talking about the wildest and intriguing wrestling news stories, rumors that you assassinators need to know. And it will be indeed from the I'll say the the Wrestle Zone article. So make sure to check that out. And yeah, and I'm gonna wish you guys a happy and safe rest of your of your Tuesday night. Have a lovely night, and I'll see you next time with some more SNA content. Until we meet again, Super Ninja Austin out of here. Bye bye for now, and I'll see you guys there on the next one. Yeah, talk to you again tomorrow soon.